In 1986, I took some photos of Ightham Mote in Kent, the year after it was donated to the National Trust. I've come back in 2024 to see what has changed. I will try and highlight some interesting features and provide a bit of history, as well as some visiting tips. Please stay to the end for all the detail. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. Ightham Mote is located here in Kent, roughly 6 miles from Sevenoaks. It is a medieval moated 14th century manor house, which in 1986 was in a very poor state, and I was fortunate enough to be able to see it before all the major conservation work had started. This is an amazing Grade 1 listed site, with much of the 14th century building remaining, especially the Great Hall and the moat. It is really worth a visit. When I returned in 2024, as well as a spectacular building, the guides were fantastically enthusiastic and knowledgeable and able to answer all my many questions. To get some context on just how old this building is, here is a timeline of monarchs from now, Charles III, going all the way back to William the Conqueror. The first owner was a contemporary of the Black Prince and was here from 1340 to 1373, which puts the house firmly during the reign of Edward III. Coming back to the building, the first major difference to 1986 is the amount of the building that is open to visitors. I purchased a guidebook back then, and if we look at the plan on its now slightly yellowing pages, we can see major blank spaces which were not open in 1986, I assume because they were simply too dangerous. In 2024, just about all of the house is now open, so you get to see a lot more. One similarity that runs throughout the pictures is that the buildings are a lot cleaner now. This is a view of the stable block in 1986. It used to be used for staff accommodation, and this is it 38 years later. Overall, the building looks the same, except far better maintained. It looks like everything has been restored, but very sensitively, and this is the case throughout the buildings. The main change I noticed was the main doors were firmly closed back in 1986, whereas now, in 2024, there is a display with some old photos of the house and the staff. This is a view of the corner of Ightham Mote, looking towards the stable block in the distance. This is it in 1986, and then from 2024. We can see from the 1986 photo that the area around the exposed timber is in a poor state. And also, if we look at the front of the picture, we can see the metal wire used to stop people falling in the moat. Moving to 2024, we can see the building is in a far better state of repair, especially the infill between the exposed timber. And then from the same position, if we look the other way down Ightham Mote, we can see it in 1986 and then 2024. Moving round the building to diagonally opposite this position and another corner, in this photo we really can see some change. In the 1986 photo, the bridge was completely overgrown, but moving back to 2024, we can see it has been completely cleared and the bridge is fully visible. If we move round on this clip, we can see the main gatehouse. The gatehouse is the main visitor route into the building's courtyard. And then this is the courtyard back in 1986. In the corner we can see the dog kennel, which is itself listed. And here it is again in 2024. All the main features that we could see back in the 80s have been fully restored, and the building does look in a far better state now. One nice touch I really liked when visiting in 2024 is that the doors have been left open, so it's possible to look right through the building and see the small waterfall in the garden, actually from the courtyard. And then this is a great view of the overall site that I took in 1986, but unfortunately was unable to recreate in 2024, as ironically the trees have grown. Here are a couple of photos from other angles in 2024 to try and give an overall impression of all the restoration work since the 80s. Unfortunately, I didn't get to take any pictures inside back in 1986, though I do remember it was in a poor state of repair. I know this house has now been completely restored, but the overriding impression is that it has been done very sensitively, and although it has been completely redone, it still looks overall pretty much the same as back in the 1980s. Some visiting tips. Not surprisingly, this is a very popular destination. I actually tried to visit it last year in 2023 and couldn't find a parking space, so I had to leave. So my top tip is to get there early. The garden currently opens at 10 and is great to walk around before the house opens at 11. There is an admission charge unless you're a member of the National Trust. There is currently building work going on to construct a new shop and restore the walled garden. There is now considerably more car parking than there was back in 1986, and I look forward to coming back when the work on the visitor centre and the walled garden has been completed. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.